Hi, everybody, and welcome again back to Regaining the Balance. I'm going to be reading out of the Emerald Tablet of Thoth, Tablet 7, the Seven Lords. And let's see what this particular tablet's got in store for us. So, let's just go ahead and give you guys a screen share so you can see the document itself. And there we are. And voila. So we are, the Emerald Tablet 7, the Seven Lords. Hark ye, O man, and list to my voice. Open thy mind space and drink of my wisdom. Dark is the path of life that ye travel. Many the pitfalls that lie in thy way. Seek ye ever to gain greater wisdom. Attain it shall be light on thy way. Open thy soul, O man, to the cosmic, and let it flow in as one with thy soul. Light is eternal and darkness is fleeting. Seek ye ever, O man, for the light. Know ye that ever as light fills thy being, darkness for thee shall soon disappear. Open thy soul to the brothers of brightness. Let them enter and fill thee with light. Lift up thine eyes to the light of the cosmos. Keep thou ever thy face to the goal. Only by gaining the light of all wisdom art thou one with the infinite goal. Seek ye ever the oneness eternal. Seek ye ever the light of the goal. Light is infinite and light is finite, separate only by darkness in man. Seek ye to rend the veil of darkness, bring thou together the light into one. Hear ye, O man, list to my voice, singing the song of light and life. Throughout all space, light is prevalent, encompassing all with its banners of flame. Seek ye forever in the veil of darkness, somewhere ye shall surely find light. Hidden and buried, lost to man's knowledge, deep in the infinite, deep in the finite, the infinite exists. Lost but existing, flowing through all things, living in all, is the infinite brain. In all space there is only one wisdom. Though seem divided, it is one in the one. All that exists come forth from the light, and the light come forth from all. Everything created is based upon order. Law rules the space where the infinite dwells. Forth from equilibrium came the great cycles, moving in harmony towards infinity's end. Know ye, O man, that far in the space-time infinity itself shall pass into change. Hear ye and list to the voice of wisdom. Know that all is of all evermore. Know that through time thou may pursue wisdom and find ever more light on the way. Aye, thou shalt find that ever receding. Thy goal shall elude thee from day unto day. Long time ago, in the halls of Amenti, I, Thoth, stood before the lords of the cycles, mighty, they in their aspects of power, mighty, they in the wisdom unveiled. Led by the dweller, first did I see them, but afterwards free was I of their presence, free to enter their conclave at will. Oft did I journey down the dark paths unto the hall where the light ever glows. Learned I of the masters of cycles, wisdom brought from the cycles above us, knowledge brought from infinity's all. Many the questions I asked the lords of the cycles, great was the wisdom they gave unto me. Now unto thee I give this wisdom, drawn from the flame of infinity's fire. Deep in the dark halls sit the seven units of consciousness from cycles above. Manifest they in this cycle as guide of man to the knowledge of all. Seven are they, mighty in power, speaking these words through me to men. Time after time stood I before them, listening to words that came not with sound. Once they said unto me, quote, O man, wouldst thou gain wisdom? Seek for it in the heart of the flame. Wouldst thou gain knowledge of power? Seek ye it in the heart of the flame. Wouldst be one with the heart of the flame? Seek then within thine own hidden flame. Unquote. Many times they spoke, they to me, teaching me wisdom not of the world, showing me ever new paths to brightness, teaching me wisdom brought from above, giving knowledge of operation, learning of law, the order of all. Spoke to me again the seven, saying, quote, From far beyond time are we come, O man, traveled we from beyond the space-time, I from the place of infinity's end. When ye and all of thy brethren were formless, formed forth were we from the order of all. Not as men are we, though once we too were as men. Out of the great void were we formed forth in order and by law. For know ye that which is formed truly is formless, having form only to thine eyes. Unquote. And again, unto me spoke the seven, saying, quote, Child of the light, O Thoth, art thou free to travel the bright path upward until at the last all ones become one. Fourth were we formed after our order, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Know ye that these are the numbers of cycles that we descend from unto man, each having here a duty to fulfill, each having here a force to control. Yet are we one with the soul of our cycle. Yet are we two seeking a goal far beyond man's conception. Infinity extends into a greater than all. There in a time that is yet not a time, we shall all become one with a greater than all. Time and space are moving in circles. Know ye their law, and ye too shall be free. Aye, free shall ye be to move through the cycles, past the guardians that dwell at the door. Unquote. Then to me spoke he of nine, saying, quote, Eons and aeons have I existed, knowing not life and tasting not death. For know ye, O man, that far in the future life and death shall be one with the all, each so perfected by balancing the other that neither exist in the oneness of all. In men of this cycle the life force is rampant, but life in its growth becomes one with the all. Here I manifest in this your cycle, but yet I am there in your future of time. Yet to me time exists not, for in my world time exists not, for formless we are. Life we not, but yet have existence, fuller and greater and freer than thee. Man is a flame bound to a mountain, but we in our cycle shall ever be free. Know ye, O man, that when ye have progressed into the cycles that lengthen above, life itself will pass into the darkness, and only the essence of soul shall remain. Unquote. Then to me spoke the Lord of the Eight, saying, quote, All that ye know is but part of little. Not as yet have ye touched on the great. Far out in space where light reigns supreme, came I into the light. Formed was I also, but not as ye are. Body of light was my formless form formed. Know I not life, and know I not death. Yet master am I of all that exists. Seek ye to find the path through the barriers, travel the road that leads to the light. Unquote. Spoke again to me the nine, saying, quote, Seek ye to find the path to beyond. Not impossible is it to grow to a consciousness above. For when two have become one, and one has become the all, know ye the barrier has lifted, and ye are made free of the road. Grow thou from form to the formless, free may thou be of the road. Unquote. Thus through the ages I listened, I learning the way to the all. Now lift I my thought to the all thing. List ye and hear when it calls. Quote, O light all pervading, one with all and all with one, flow thou to me through the channel. Enter thou so that I may be free, making me one with the all soul, shining from the blackness of night. Free let me be of all space-time, free from the veil of night. I, a child of the light, command, free from the darkness to be. Unquote. Formless am I to the light soul, formless yet shining with light. Know I the bonds of the darkness must shatter and fall before light. Now give I this wisdom, free may ye be, O man, living in light and in brightness. Turn not thy face from the light. Thy soul dwells in realms of brightness. Ye are a child of the light. Turn thy thoughts inward, not outwards. Find thou the light soul within. Know that thou art the master. All else is brought from within. Grow thou to realms of brightness. Hold thou thy thought on the light. Know thou art one with the cosmos, a flame and a child of the light. Now to thee I give warning. Let not thy thought turn away. Know that the brightness flows through thy body, for I turn not to the dark brightness that comes from brothers of black. Turn not to the dark brightness that comes from the brothers of black. But keep thine eyes ever lifted, thy soul in tune with the light. Take ye this wisdom and heed it, list to my voice and obey. Follow the pathway to brightness, and thou shalt be one with the way. And here we have The Flower of Life, or A Moment in the Mind of God by Chapel Tibet. But this is definitely The Flower of Life. And the funny thing is that if you look at cell division in a human birth, it actually looks exactly like this after a certain point, after it divides. I forget how many times, but it literally looks like the flower of life, which to me is pretty amazing. And let's just quickly check this out here. Okay. Go. And I want to just show you guys real quick with I want to show you all something. What do you think this is? Hmm? The heart on fire, burning heart. Here we go. Same thing. Okay? This is not by mistake. Not even a little bit by mistake. Look, Mary and Jesus, both heart on fire. Interestingly enough, a lot of times Mary actually has blue on her head. Here it's gold. We have another one. I mean, you see this, but this one has a sword or something through it, or a knife. But this is a very old concept. And I just wanted to point this out because you see these things here. And this is not by mistake, okay? Not at all. I mean, this is what they mean when they talk about the fire. And as you're going to see in many future videos, including I'm reading an entire book by the it's a Rosicrucian book called The Philosophy of Fire, and it very much goes into this whole thing, you know. And then I mean, this is some really next level shit, really. And but I'm going to go into why that is very soon. But as you see here, you have the flower, you know, you got all that kind of stuff. And then, let's see here. Let's see here. With rosy cross and fire. Yep. I can't find anything with the rosy cross. Well, either way, I think you guys get the point here. You know, this stuff is certainly much older than we're being told it is. Much, much, much older. And I think that's an important thing to pay attention to because, you know, you're going to find various aspects of multiple different religious ideas in these tablets here. And I'm fully aware that these weren't published until the 1920s or something like that. But it certainly seems that a lot of the stuff that's in this are very much in much older texts, and you know, I'm not sure whether it's when they talk about the dark brightness and the dark brothers, makes you wonder, you know, why in the world would, say, the Catholic Church and various other governments and kingdoms and whatever else seek to destroy other people because of their spiritual beliefs if they're not the dark brightness, the dark brothers who are trying to stamp these kinds of things out. But the thing is that you can never stamp this out. And no matter how hard they try, it always exists in all of us. And that is the big key, because I think that there's something to say about living a life of light rather than living a life of darkness. It's and it's just in your day to day. Again, like I said in my last video, you know, every single day you have a chance to bring light and love to people. You always do, every single day. And And when it says that things like the path of the light is, fraught with darkness, many pitfalls. Let's see here. Yeah, hearken, O man, and listen to my voice. Open thy mind and drink of my wisdom. Dark is the path of life that ye travel. Many the pitfalls that lie in the way. Seek ye ever to gain greater wisdom. Attain it, and shall be light on thy way. And I think it's an important point to make, because it's true. Not only does the society we live in make it difficult for people to connect to their inner souls, so to speak, but so do the trials and tribulations of life in general, and it never stops. And that's the thing. It's like once you get to that point spiritually where you can understand, um, what the true purpose of life is, and you realize that, like, all problems are just lessons to be learned for the most part, and how you deal with those lessons, and how you even recognize them as lessons in the first place is really a testament on where you might be spiritually, because it's always going to be thrown at you. It's always going to be thrown in your face, and no matter how good you think you're doing, those trials and tribulations will keep coming at you until you don't really care about them anymore. And so what ends up happening is that things will happen to you, and you won't freak out about it. You won't be upset about it. You're not going to hate people over the dispositions that happen in your life, but instead you're going to take them as a lesson, and you will deal with these problems. And in the end, you'll come out understanding that you didn't lose control, because the only thing you have control of in this life is your mind and yourself. Everything else is part of that chaotic order that exists. It definitely looks like everything is just crazy, You know what I mean? You have billions of people all with their own ideas bumping around each other and not really understanding that they're all just part of one thing, the all, so to speak. And that is part of the separation that it brings, this valley of darkness. Um, and we have to keep our eyes on the prize, so to speak. But the prize is you. It's you. It's your soul. It's your deliverance from the quote unquote evil that is also from you and me and all people. I mean, it just, we have to understand ourselves. That's why in temples across the world, you have these two things written: know thyself and nothing in excess. And but the know thyself is important. Nothing in excess is also important, because that becomes obsessions. That becomes something that you are attached to, and therefore you find it difficult to let go. But I'll tell you now that in this life, you have choices, and they're always there. They're always sitting right in front of you, and you have to understand that, like, forgiveness is a huge part of this whole thing as well. You have to understand how to forgive yourself. You have to understand how to forgive other people, and that's a big part of being able to put away these attachments that we all get in life. Part of it's our growing up around our parents and the people that teach us how to live in society, and part of it is society itself. The macro and the microcosm, that kind of thing. And it's important to understand those distinctions, because in the end, like, when you really get it, and you've done the spiritual work to get yourself to that point, you recognize yourself in all people. And the thing is that there's no one way to the truth. Okay, I forget who coined this phrase. I think it might have been Rumi, but he said something like, the path to God, there are as many paths to God as there are souls on earth. And that is true. And the one thing you have to be careful with is this. In all religions, or at least many religions, I'd say a large majority of the major ones, they concentrate on things of physical nature. And while those things are somewhat important in the beginning, once you get past that, they are worthless to you. Because once you realize that your physical nature is connective with your spiritual nature, what difference is there in your life? What difference is there um, in whether or not you wear a veil, or you eat pork, or you you know eat meat on Fridays, or during Christmas or Lent or whatever else, and like all these little rules that we have to follow, like whether you have to be circumcised and stuff like that. Like none of those things matter in the end. I mean, who cares if you have to be circumcised to be part? If you're not circumcised, then God isn't gonna like you. Like, how ridiculous is that? And that's my opinion. I think it's a ridiculous concept. If you have a religious if you follow a religion that tells you how to hate people, that's also a problem, because what the hell is the point of that exactly? I don't agree with that. I wish people wouldn't hate each other. But the thing is that we're taught to hate each other, not just within our own religious systems, but also within our own societies, and then within our own families. It's this idea of the other, always the other, and that's people aren't your enemy; they are part of you. And the faster you realize that, the faster you will come to, the easier it is for you to get closer to that spiritual center, and to understand how to deal with your own problems in life, because that's important. And I think that's number one. You deal with that, you purify yourself, you become a much more happy, balanced, loving person. And by that, in and of itself, you are going to create a situation that you will inspire others, and you will see others do very similar things as you were doing, because they see how you've changed, and they see the good that you do just by living every single day. Because the fact of the thing is that this life is going to be looked at really in two ways. Are you in a prison, or are you in a classroom? So essentially, are you a victim of everything, or are you here to learn from the things that happen to you? Because again, the only thing you have control of is your mind, how you react to things, how you hate things, how you love things, how you perceive things. That's it. And this is what causes us to gnaw and scratch and attack each other, and do things like that. And or it's the same thing where we go out of our way to help those around us, whether we know them or not. So keep that in mind. And I'll go ahead and finish this video up here. I think it's important that well, either way, if you guys like this video, please like, subscribe, hit the little bell button. Come on back for more, because I'm just going to keep churning a bunch of these videos out. I'm going to be reading a lot of stuff, because I think that, I appreciate other YouTubers and stuff giving like little bits of information and putting together stuff. But I think also giving like raw info out of books and just reading books straight up is also helpful, because it's information and people should be exposed to information. And that's what I'm here to do. So if you want to leave me a tip or anything like that, all the donation stuff will be in the description box. Otherwise, again, like, subscribe, hit the little bell button, share it if you like it, and I will see you guys in the next